Despite their traditional reluctance, which I've already alluded to hold particular countries accountable, emerging democracies have in fact shown a growing willingness to speak out in the face of human rights abuses or crackdowns. And here I would offer three recent examples: Iran, Ivory Coast, and Libya. On Iran, Brazil voted in Geneva last month to create a special rapporteur for human rights, having abstained on the annual UN General Assembly resolution on Iran since 2004. This, as many of you know, was the first country-specific mandate adopted since the creation of the Human Rights Council. In part because of this leadership and the willingness of other countries to follow the lead of dominant regional players, the resolution reinstating the Iran Human Rights Rapporteur also passed by the widest margin of any of the Council or Commission's resolutions since 1997. I will grant that Iran's actions on the ground had a lot to do with that lopsided vote as well. India, too, abstained on Iran for the first time in the General Assembly vote, having always voted no in the past. And South Africa abstained on the Iran resolution the last 2 years as well, having voted no since 2003. So we're seeing moves from no's to abstentions, from abstentions to yes on a range of country-specific issues. On Ivory Coast, which of course has come to a head this week, when it came to UN Security Council action in response to the contested election there and the attempt by the former president to retain power, two important ideas were in tension with one another. Non-intervention on the one hand, and the importance of regional problem solving on the other. However, ultimately all council members, including Brazil, India, and South Africa, joined consensus on repeated press statements and resolutions. This included imposing sanctions on Gbagbo and 4 others, a notable shift from the non-aligned movement's traditional distaste for sanctioning regimes and their leaders. Over time, the Council's products also called more forcefully for enforcement of the mandate to protect civilians. While South Africa was initially skeptical of the UN's endorsement of the election's outcome, their position evolved, and their support for the findings of the AU and ECOWAS may have been a turning point in the resolution of the electoral crisis. Ultimately, all emerging democracies on the Council voted in favor of UN Security Council Resolution 1975, which carried with it a very forceful mandate accelerating the defeat of Gbagbo. And this support for these resolutions was despite misgivings by, again, many countries over whether the political track had yet run its course. They still were prepared to support robust enforcement on the ground. This regional solidarity that I mentioned that is responsible for now Ouattara being able to consolidate control over the country, having won the election, this regional solidarity will prove especially important in the remainder of this year. This is a year in which 17 of Africa's 47 countries will hold national elections, either presidential or parliamentary, and it will be essential to maintain regional solidarity behind democratic principles.